So it's a little past 2:30, so I'll call the meeting to order. And I can't see everyone, Priscilla, so if you and or Austin could have the Mac find out who's here from the Mac.
Yeah, let me I think when we're sharing the screen it's hard to see folks, so let me just go. Do you have it? Okay, great. You want to just read off the members?
I see Margie.
Yeah, Austin will read off the members.
Oh, okay, Austin, thank you.
Bear with me 1 minute. I see that some folks have their hands up, so I just don't want to. Is there a reason why we have two folks? Gene has his hand up. Hi, Gene. I see you have your hand up. We're just starting the meeting. Are you not hearing us?
Well, you had me muted until just a second ago.
Yeah, I have tried to make you a panelist, and it was very odd. What is going on with Gene? I don't know if it's because his phone number came in instead of maybe you came in a different way.
Again.
Yes, you're unmuted. Okay, we're going to keep you unmuted, Gene, okay?
Please.
So you'll be able to speak. All right, so we've got Gene Lozano. We've got Margie Donovan. Margie, you're here, right? And are you able to?
I am able to hear you just fine.
Thank you. Jeff Tom. Jeff Tom.
He's muted now.
Okay, now I'm unmuted.
Yeah, just keep him unmuted. Okay. We have Hugh. Hugh is here. Hi, Hugh. Helen O'Connell.
I'm here.
Okay. Frank.
I'm here.
Welcome. Any other members? Looking to see if we have any other members. I'm not seeing any others at the moment.
I believe that's 6.
That is 6.
We need one more.
Bear with me. Folks might still be coming in.
Yeah.
Would it be under? Oh, Charles, I don't think we have a quorum.
Not yet.
Certainly can't approve the minutes without a quorum.
We can go to public comment.
Okay.
So now, since I can't see hands or anything like that, Priscilla and or Austin, would you call anybody that has their hand up for public comments? And these are comments on items not on the agenda.
Okay, the only one I see with the hand up at this moment is Jeffrey Tartagia. Jeff Tartagia.
Okay, Jeff, go right ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hear you.
Unfortunately, I got a phone call coming in, but the reason my hand was up before the meeting because I couldn't change Jeffrey, and knowing that Jeff Tom was also going to be on, thought that was important. I will go back and say to you is why do we not have a Q&A so that you can direct a question to the panelists without interfering for our blind people. You block off the chat because you don't want interference for those that
Jeff, you're we can't really hear your comments. It's garbled.
Is it better now?
No, we can't hear him, but we do have you noted that you're in attendance, Jeff, and we'll change that name up so we know who's who.
Yeah, he's listed as Jeffrey and Jeff Tom is listed as Jeff Tom.
Right. So I don't know if I had any more MAC members come in. I don't think so. But before we move on can I just mention who else is on so everybody knows, before
Sure,
we
please
move
do.
on?
Yeah.
All
please.
right, so, and I'm just gonna say the names, you don't have to introduce yourself per se. I have Alicia Brown, Blanca Salcido, I've got Brandy Buell, Casey Courtwright, Charity Oakley, Chris Flores, Pauline Elder, Jamie Poole Canavari, Lisa Hines, Shahid Muhammad, Richard Mitchell, Rose Patton. I'm not sure how to pronounce the name here. Is the RIL program manager, Rebecca Witten. We've got Sean Reynolds is on, she's with Go. And then I have Stephanie Jones, who I believe, Stephanie, you are a member of the community. I'm not sure who you're with, or if you're just an individual advocate, but welcome, everybody. But I don't think I missed anyone from this list. What? Did I miss someone? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. All right. So we'll keep going down the agenda and talk about issues that do not require action from the MAC, since we do not have a quorum. The chair report, I don't have anything under the chair report now. Have I missed something, Priscilla?
No.
Okay, and I think Margie's hand is up.
Well, you did have, we were going to table an item. I don't know if you would mention that under the chair report.
Well, yeah, an item, we are tabling James Drake's presentation under new business. He is requested to make his presentation on the SAC-RT service changes in 2024. He wants to do that in January, so he is tabled. Okay, Margie. I think Margie has her hand up.
Yeah, let me get down to Margie.
Sorry, am I audible?
Yes.
Yep, we can hear you.
Well, now you're muted. Now you're
unmuted. I don't know why it's not reading to me if I'm muted or not, but I'm a little bit concerned that we don't have a quorum. I found it very confusing today with all those emails being sent out. I actually joined the wrong meeting to begin with, and I went down and I looked for Priscilla's. So I'm hoping that we don't have people waiting in one of those other meetings that's for next year. Is there any way to text those people that are missing?
Well, we actually sent an email yesterday to the MAC members to let you know about the change in the 2024 meeting for each month, that we were going to be sending out a new meeting invite. So maybe not everyone saw that. I know Helen, I responded to her in an email because I think she might have had some confusion, but generally speaking, I didn't get any other responses, but we can try.
I sent you a response this morning and I didn't hear from you, so I emailed Austin and then he answered.
Yes. Yeah. I know Austin connected with you. We had to make individual MAC meeting member. We had to do individual MAC meetings. And so, I mean, the only thing I can say is if you want, we can try and call a couple of the members that aren't on. I'm not sure. Maybe they thought it was canceled, but we sent out an invite so that it would be known that we had the meeting today.
As we're going through this, Priscilla, if Austin could make a few calls, that would really help us out.
Right. So you need, we're going to work on that right now. So,
okay, great. Because we do have some business that we have to conduct.
Right, so you would, Alan, maybe?
Surprised Pam isn't here.
Yeah, just give him a call. You got their number right here. Here, use my phone.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Charles.
Looks like we have someone else that has their hand up. I'm not sure where we're at. Are we under public comment now, or?
Yes, we're still under public comment.
So Stephanie Jones has her hand up.
Okay. Please, Stephanie.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Stephanie Jones, formerly Stephanie Watts, and I only make that administrative note for you all because I have been getting the emails. I've gotten the updated 2024 information, and I am still the same Stephanie for what it's worth. For
Thank
all
you,
y'all to know.
Stephanie.
But just a name change. And so, Priscilla, if you like, I can email you offline if there's a need for additional information. Otherwise, I will let it stand here.
Okay, as long as your email hasn't changed or has it, thank you
At the
for-
moment, yeah, at the moment, it's fine. You can do the SW Watts 3 as you've done. That's great.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, any other comments from the public on items not on the agenda?
I'm not seeing any other hands up.
Okay.
Oh, wait, Jeff Tom has his hand up? Hold on a minute. Jeff T. Jeff, I'm sorry. I corrected it and I called Jeff Tom.
Yeah,
Jeff T.
that's me. I don't know if there is a way to add this to the agenda, but it's a matter that has just come up. And I think that we need an answer fairly urgently. So let me mention it, and then we'll see if we can address it. I don't know if we can or not. If it's out of order, then it's out of order. An announcement came. Charles, did you say one?
Yes, go ahead, Jeff.
Okay, so an announcement came out earlier this week.
This is Austin. Yeah, we're just wondering if you could.
Austin, could you mute?
Austin needs to mute.
Yeah, hold on a minute. Austin, could you call on the other outside because they can hear you? We're definitely multitasking on this end. So sorry.
Yeah, I know. An announcement came out earlier this week that there would be low floor testing during regular service hours, and we had some inquiries, and it said, people should look to make sure they don't get on the train if it's a testing train. And we had some inquiries from members. How would a blind person be notified? Would there be verbal announcements? So this train is not in service, or whatever. Since the testing is beginning now, I don't know if anybody can get an answer for that. If you can't today, maybe you could send us an answer, tomorrow or when the meeting is over or sometime, because that people want to know, because it affects, service right now.
Well, it sure does, Jeff. And I sent a reply to Jean, just to Jean, saying that when we get down to item number 9, announcements and council members' requests for information, that I would call this issue, and Priscilla has some brief comments that she can update us with.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. All right. Now, since we cannot vote on anything, I think we can go through some of the other items, however, that don't require a vote from the MAC. Let's see. I see Helen O'Connell. Do we have 7 people now, Priscilla?
No.
Well, Helen was.
Oh, she was
Helen's
already
been here. Yeah, I'm just looking. I have Jean, Margie, Jeff, Hugh, Helen, and Frank, and Charles. So
That's 7.
that's 7.
No, you counted Charles twice. You said
Yeah,
you.
I think you counted
No, I
twice.
didn't.
Margie.
I didn't count them twice.
And as much as I would like, I only get 1 vote.
1, 2.
So.
Wait, did you say Hugh? Did you say Hugh
That's-
came in?
So there's 7 people from MAC
Yay.
on the call.
Oh, we've got 7. Okay, we can.
Yeah, I
reduce that then.
thought so.
Hey, all right. So let's
Yeah.
go back to item 3 and approval of the minutes. Does anyone have any additions or comments on the meetings as submitted? Seeing none, hearing none, I will ask for a motion to accept the meeting minutes.
I make a motion to accept the meeting, Helen.
Okay.
Gene second.
Okay, Jean, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Yep. Opposed? And abstentions. Okay, the minutes as submitted are approved. And we can move on now. Oh, somebody's phone is ringing. Could you either please mute your phone or your microphone? Margie, I see your hand is up.
Yeah, I'm looking, and I don't probably have access to everything like Priscilla, but I'm looking at the attendees list, and I'm not seeing people like Jean and Jeff Tom. I don't know why they're not showing up on the list.
I think, Margie, it's because it's webinar and sometimes I don't see them either.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't have a full list either, Margie.
Okay. Okay.
That's why I keep asking for help from Priscilla and Austin.
Okay. I just who did we add to the group that made the 7th?
Oh gosh, I don't know, but we do have 7 according to
Okay.
Priscilla's count.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Okay,
welcome.
let's move on to old business. Sacramento Cal ITP update with Casey Courtright. Casey? Are you here, Casey?
All right, I believe I'm here now.
Now
Can you
you
guys-
are. Hey, welcome.
The unmute button came through. So,
Good.
Chair Johnson, members of the MAC, happy to speak with you this afternoon. Casey Courtright, the Director of Office Management and Budget at SAC-RT. Wanted to give the group a brief update on some development with our electronic fare systems at the district. We have talked about the Cal ATP project a number of times in the past. Currently, SAC-RT has a pilot demonstration program on our light rail vehicles where we have Cal ATP readers. Cal ATP it's a statewide program, a fare system that they've implemented primarily to allow passengers to board with a credit or debit card. That can be an Apple Watch, a smartphone, anything that has a credit or debit card loaded to it. You can pay your fares directly on board our trains. We had been working with the Cal ITP team to expand that system to our bus fleet as well, and launch it in a more permanent fashion. We partnered with SACOG and a number of the other Connect Card transit agencies. We received some grant funds to purchase hardware for that expansion, and we put out a scope of work in midsummer to have that hardware procured. The bids came back for that, and what we learned was that the hardware that Cal ITP is that the Cal ITP vendors can supply is actually capable of much more. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a note. All right, are you guys able to hear me now again, Priscilla?
Yeah, this is better, Casey.
Okay, good. Yeah. So they added me as a panelist. So I left for a minute and came back. I'll back up a couple steps just to make sure we catch everything. We released we partnered with the Connect Card transit agencies, put out a scope of work back in July of this year to procure that hardware to expand to the bus fleet. And what we learned was actually fantastic news, in that the hardware that is qualified under the state MSA is actually capable of far more than just processing credit and debit card transactions. Those vendors are actually capable of hosting in what we call an account-based ticketing system that is processed through that hardware. So what that means is that this hardware that we're looking to procure can provide us with the functionality to effectively replace Connect Card and Zip Pass over time. So we put a pause on the procurement for a few months here. We're getting ready to go back in and start working on it again very soon. But the reason for that pause is that we're adding additional functionality to what we're asking for from the vendors. And we have grant funds to pay for this. And we are going to be releasing within the next month or so a new RFP that will provide us with hopefully with some options to upgrade our Connect Card and Zip Pass systems, effectively combining them. That's what the passenger experience will be like. Is that the customers who have Zip Pass will have the same back office and same functionality as a customer who has. So you'll be able to use either a card or your phone, or you'll be able to use your credit or debit card.
We're getting feedback again, Casey.
It might not be Casey.
It might not be Casey.
I think I saw another name pop up as unmuted for a moment, but I think is it better now?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So what the new system will do once fully procured and fully installed is that it'll essentially provide passengers with the option to pay with a credit or debit card out of their wallet, just like they'd pay at a grocery store. They can pay for transit fare that way. They can pay for transit fare through a mobile application. They can pay for transit fare through a closed loop card like Connect Card today. All of those would all live within the same back office. So all of the customers would have access to the same tickets and, effectively the same system. Whereas Connect Card and Zip Pass are two totally different systems, don't speak to each other at all today. So the turnaround time for these new systems is very quick. The longest lead time is likely to be the hardware procurement and installation piece. But we're hoping that by, next summer or so, we can have all of this hardware, on site and installation beginning, looking towards, sometime in 2024, having new options for passengers to, like I said, effectively replace Connect Card and Zip Pass, is what we'll be looking to do. With that, I think I'd like to take any questions we may have, Priscilla, from the group.
Sure.
That sounds
Thank
great. Yeah, that sounds great, Casey. I see several hands up. I'll start with a couple of questions. Will this first be on light rail and then be expanded to the other platforms?
So in all likelihood, right now the hardware is available on light rail already. Mm-hmm. In all likelihood, the order until we have a vendor selected, we won't know the final pathway or phases that this is going to be implemented in. But more than likely, the easiest piece and the quickest piece to be delivered is the mobile app piece. Will probably be the first piece that launches, and so that would give customers for SacRT Go, for bus, and for light rail all access to the new mobile app. As soon as hardware is installed, once the hardware is installed on the bus fleet, that's when we can turn on the rest of the features, the pay with your credit or debit card, all of that type of stuff will be available as well. And we certainly plan to install this hardware on not just our fixed route bus fleet. It'll be going on SacRT Go vehicles, Smart Ride vehicles. All of our bus fleet will be outfitted with this new hardware and the new system.
Fantastic. And another question. Am I correct in understanding that this is something that is going to be instituted throughout the state?
So a portion of it will be instituted throughout the state. So the hardware that Cal ITP is providing, they have done a statewide procurement. They've done a statewide procurement, and that hardware can be purchased by any transit agency. There's a number of small transit agencies that have taken advantage of that already. Sacramento will be the largest in the state to take advantage of the work that the Cal ITP team has done in a more permanent fashion. There's a lot of demonstrations and pilots going on right now. A very new technology, but really exciting. The further its reach goes throughout the state.
That sounds great. Helen.
Hi. I was just wondering, I have a Connect card connected to my 60 Pass that tells them that I get free rides on light rail and train and planes and everything else. I was wondering how the blind or deaf community would be informed about how to use this new system.
So we'd have to work with our marketing department on any new changes that come in, and obviously Priscilla's group would be very involved in that process as well to notify Go customers of the new fair media options that are available to them and stuff like that. Until we have a vendor selected and know exactly how the implementation would go, it's difficult to start putting that stuff together until we can see the actual materials that are provided.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Helen.
Jeff Tom.
My hand must have been still up for some reason.
I'm
No,
sorry.
it's
No,
not Jeff Tom. I'm sorry.
right.
The next
It's
person is
Tartagia.
Jean. Can
Gene,
you hear me?
okay.
Jean, and
Yes, I
then
can.
Jeff Tartagia had his hand up.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Casey, how will this, or will it have any impact on the actual hardware equipment that you have at the light rail stations on the platforms? Are you going to be phasing out the fare vending machines, the different methods there, where then you're going to have to only purchase on the train, and how does somebody who wants to just pay with cash be able to do so if you eliminate the fare vending machines at the light rail stations?
Thank you for the question there, Gene. The fare vending machines will stay. In fact, the plan is to integrate this system with the fare vending machines so that if a customer wanted to pay with cash at a fare vending machine and load multiple tickets into their mobile application or multiple tickets onto their smart card, they'd be able to do that at the fare vending machine. In all likelihood, the only equipment that would disappear is the Connect Card, the small green Connect Card boxes on the light rail platforms. Those may go away over time once the Connect Card system is fully phased out. So there'll be a period of time where we're operating both systems, where we're allowing passengers to transfer or transition from one to the other. But over time, the green Connect Card tap devices will go away. The fare vending machines are here to stay, though.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from MAC members? Okay.
I don't see any other hands up at this point. Let me,
Okay, then we're on to Jeff Tartagia.
Casey, this is Jeff. How is the statewide dealing with the disability pass? I understood there was some hiccups and some problems in trying to institute a statewide because they didn't have a reliable database to determine whom would be going on it, and the other restrictions about how they get access to names to put on the statewide database. Have you worked on that one and solved that problem?
No, great question, Jeff. So what you have identified is something that we identified as well. And one of the reasons, beyond the additional functionality that we're receiving, the impact of what the state's doing with their disability discounts was one of the reasons why we chose to pause the procurement, because what Sacramento customers will have the option to do is, rather than rely on the statewide disability program, whatever it may be that they land on, and you're absolutely right, Jeff, they're trying to figure out which databases they should be accessing to determine who qualifies for discounts and who doesn't. We will have the account-based ticketing system that's being delivered in Sacramento. We will have our own kind of home-built solution similar to like Connect Card, where customers can qualify at customer service for discounted programs. And we should certainly be able to transition any existing people who are qualified for discounts into the new system automatically. That's one of the things that we're looking to do as part of the integration as we move forward.
A second question, Casey. When they go down, are you Wi-Fi acknowledged being told that a device is down? How do you go about when a device is not working?
So we should have active monitoring available of all of the hardware out in the field. We can certainly tell when a device is functional or not functional. If they do go down temporarily, they have backups in place that allow them to process transactions while they are may have communication failures. The devices can store transaction data for a period of time on them, and then when communications come back up, transfer all that information to the back office. It's certainly something, Jeff, that we will have access to active monitoring for it. I do understand fully on the Cal ITP system that is on our light rail vehicles right now. It was never intended to be a full launch of something that we had planned as a long-term vision. It was primarily set up as a way for us to determine, can the equipment withstand the beating and banging that happens on a light rail train? It's done very well from that regard. And the actual payment processing and stuff like that is still in demonstration phase from that regard. But it's on the bus fleets, when we get it launched and when we have it up and running in earnest across the system, we will certainly have active monitoring going of all of our field equipment.
Hey, any other questions?
Gene?
Okay, Gene.
Yeah, Gene has his hand up. Sorry, I've been muting myself, so I'm a little bit delayed in trying to get back to let you know who has their hand up. So Gene Lozano has his hand up.
Gene.
Where are these hardware readers, where are they going to be positioned on the low floor light rail vehicles?
So we're still working on final design of that, Gene, because we will now have access for people to board at all, for everybody to board at all doors. We certainly need to work with Siemens on where may be the best place. We don't plan long-term. It's not going to be just one device on each vehicle. There'll be at least 2 per vehicle. In all likelihood, possibly a third as well. But we certainly want to make sure that we have the max involvement, especially when it comes to the placement of the new hardware, to make sure that it's fully accessible and in the best possible positioned areas.
Well, that would be really important when you roll out the public education program for the low floor light rail vehicle. Thank you.
Absolutely, thank you, Gene.
I see Margie's hand up.
Yeah, let me lower it. Where are they currently on the light rail? Fortunately, I was only going one stop, but I boarded from, I'm going to say mid-train, not the disabled ramp this past weekend, to go to Sutter Street to the fair. And by the time we got there, I still had not found where to swipe my card.
Yeah, the current one, unfortunately, Margie, is a little bit difficult. Like I said in the beginning, we're part of a pilot or demonstration right now, and so we were provided one free device per vehicle as part of it, and so they're installed on the A end of each vehicle, which is very difficult to tell a passenger because it's not always we
downtown end.
We installed them at one end in particular, on the A end in particular, so we could tell customers it's the A end. But it was at least the one that's at the ramp half the time. But when the train turns around and comes back inbound, it's not at the ramp; it's at the back of the ramp, right? So with only one device, it made it difficult. That's why certainly there will be at least 2 devices per car moving forward. And we'll absolutely be wanting to work with the MAC on with the new low floor trains. Where's the best location to install them? They are very install friendly in that they only require a power cable. The communications is all internal within the device, so we're not having to run a ton of wiring around our new vehicles. At least some, but not a lot. Yeah.
Priscilla, do you see any other hands up?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Can I just mention that German and Pam are now they have also joined us.
Oh, good. Welcome, German, and welcome, Pam. Okay, Casey, many thanks for this really great presentation and update. Looking forward to it.
Let me call up the other item first.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Chair Johnson. Very excited about it over here.
Yeah.
Talk to you guys soon.
Should be showing up here. Where is it?
Okay, I think the next item is the 2024 calendar.
So, all right, I am trying to find where that is so I can call it up. So we have
There it is. Whoops. No,
Nope, not there yet.
no, I just.
There we go.
Okay,
Okay,
You need to screen share.
don't see anything.
it's right there. All right, you should see it in a second here. This is
There we
the
go.
This is the calendar, and everyone would have received this in their packet as well. So this reflects the third Thursday of every month rather than the first, since we made that change starting in 2024.
Right. Okay.
Okay,
Uh,
any questions on that? Because I'm going to stop sharing it if we don't have any questions.
Okay, I briefly took a look at it and flipped through the calendar. I don't see any holidays or anything interfering with these meetings. And does anyone have comment, any MAC member? Priscilla, do you see any MAC member hands?
Looking, looks like I have no MAC member hands.
Okay, I do see Jeff Tartakia.
Yes,
Okay,
I'll lower it. Yeah.
What I was going to suggest before you put this out further,
well,
Sorry about that.
we lost him back. Are you hear me again?
yes,
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we can hear you.
What I was going to suggest is put on there that it is going to be the third Thursday. I know people will read that and if they make sense of it, but since this is a change from first Thursday to the third Thursday, I'm just suggesting on this, when you put it out, you list that this is a third Thursday somewhere on the top of that form, just because you've changed it after years of it being the first Thursday. It's just a suggestion.
Oh, it's the minute.
Okay.
Oh, the minutes. Okay.
Okay, thanks very much for that suggestion, Jeff. Okay, now do we need to vote on this? Okay. Very good. Then let's move on to the next item is the MAC work plan. And I think everyone got the
We didn't send anything in.
nothing has been sent out. Okay, what I'm going to suggest is the following. That we send out a copy of the current work plan and ask each MAC member to look it over and make suggestions as to what should be on our work plan for 2024. And since we're under a fairly tight time frame, I would ask that any comments that you want to add to any item for 2024 work plan be submitted by, let's see, when is our executive meeting for December?
I believe it's on the 20th. I have to double
Okay.
check.
All right.
Mhm.
If the suggest that all suggestions be submitted to Priscilla by December 19. I know this is tight, but what I hope we can do is have a draft work plan to discuss and perhaps vote on in the January meeting.
Can I add, and I know that we have, Pam has her hand up, I think, on here, and I would assume it's this item. What I thought may make more sense is that we share the draft work plan that the executive committee is working on with the members.
Okay.
Because that should be, we're gonna be meeting on that, and we got some feedback. We sent some information out, and I know the executive committee is working on that. Does that make more sense maybe, or am I off?
I think that makes a lot of sense. So when should we try to send that out?
I would just need to get everything from the rest of the executive committee, so it could be early next week. potentially?
Why don't we try to do
Does
that?
that work for, Helen and Jeff, Tom, and I got some information from Jean already, and Charles.
And mine was also sent. I know I sent it to Charles.
Right.
Okay,
So, yeah, if we could get our comments into Priscilla by early next week, then let's say, or by the 19th, so that we can work on it at the executive meeting on the 20th. Does that sound
Excuse me.
reasonable, Priscilla?
yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
I have a problem. Most of my part is going to be covered by James Drake in January.
Oh,
Yeah, but will it be ended in January though? I mean, will it be done completely? Helen, because remember, if it's not done, then it still continues as something we're going to deal with.
Right. Yeah, we're really talking about our goals for 2024 here, Helen.
Yeah, but he's going to be talking about the changes for 2024.
Right,
And
but there could be
that's
more.
not-
So all you have to do is just say like, continue to examine bus changes or whatever, and that covers
Okay.
it in case
Right.
of,
Yeah.
Fair changes. Yeah.
Jane,
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
Jean's
you.
hands up and
Jean?
Pam's.
Right. Okay. I don't know who put their hand up first.
I
Jean?
think Jean had his hand up and then Pam.
All right, Jean.
well, I'd like to suggest to Helen, since I last week sent everyone my part 3, which was the goals, and also the accomplishments. I had worked that out, and that was based on the past. You may want to take a look at that, because I haven't seen anyone else's. So at least to help you give it an idea of what be there, like public education was part of that area, part 4 for the last 2
Right.
years, and
Right.
and there's a big chunk this coming year particularly. So there's a lot
Yes.
there.
There really is.
Thank
Part
you.
4.
Okay. And Helen, if you need any more, if you want to talk about that a little bit more, be sure and give me a call.
Thank you for that.
Sure. And then I guess Pam, Jean, is that it for your
That
comments?
was
or
it. I
questions?
just wanted to help provide a guide, because it was helpful what Jeff was stating, but I think seeing something in writing, print,
Yeah.
whether it still needs to be flushed out, I understand that. But at least it's a part that has totally been worked on, so to be as a guide, that's all.
Sounds great. Thanks very much, Jean. Pam.
can you hear me? I'm not sure about this.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yes,
I'll just hold my comment to do as you suggested later after we review things.
okay.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So, anything else on the MAC work plan and our activities coming up shortly?
I have no other hands from the members. Just Jeff Tartagia, I believe, has his hand up.
Okay.
Jeff Tom has his
Jeff
hand
Tom.
up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just want to clarify, Charles, so that people know what to expect. The goal then is to get an executive committee version out before Christmas, and then give until the following meeting for people to submit more. Am I correct when I state that, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thanks for making that clearer. Appreciate it. Okay. Anything else on this topic? Okay, let's move. Let's see. We're going to skip James Drake's presentation, and we'll have that in January. And we'll go to Priscilla's update on the open house.
Yes, the open house, this is really brief, but I did want to share with everyone so that you could pencil it in your calendar or pen it, actually. We have landed on a date for the in-person open house and a location, and it will be on March 23rd, 2024. And we're keeping the same time frame of 1 to 3. And it's going to be at the Citrus Heights Community Center. So it will be in a location that I believe we spoke about in a previous MAC meeting as another good location for an open house. So that is what we're planning. There's been feedback from MAC members, and I don't want to discount that by any means, but I do want to say that we're not in a place where we could have a simultaneous in-person and virtual by that time, especially since it's at a different location. So what we're planning is most likely the virtual would be the day before, like it was when we did the last open house, which would be March 22nd. We had a time frame, I believe, of 10 to 11:30 or something along those lines. But more information on this. I just wanted to let folks know of the first open house that'll be on March 23rd, 2024 in person at the Citrus Heights Community Center. Looks like there's some hands up. Let me just go in here and
I
see.
see. Okay, you call them, Priscilla. You have better.
Margie, you have your hand
Sure,
up?
sure. Yep. I will now put it down.
Thank you.
Okay, a couple of things. I attended the virtual last time, and I question if we really need a virtual. But I will leave that in RT's hands. I just wanted to throw that out. The virtual was not, it was very different, and it ended up being like a one-on-one. Oh, I don't want to say complain, but here's my concerns. Well, you were there, Priscilla. So I really question if we need that. Secondly, my main point being two. One is, will it come to the TCMP for discussion and input? The agenda, the program, whatever. The first one, it did. The second one, it did not. So that's one question. And the second is, will it be announced in advance as a fragrance-free meeting?
Thank you for that. I can say we will announce in advance in the same manner. That's what we did after you had shared with us, which we appreciate, but we will make sure that it's in our mailing materials, on our documentation, what we're sharing for the invite with the Go ridership.
Thank you. And what about the TCMP?
The TCMP, we can, I know we're going to be setting up a meeting, and I think just the timing of what we're focusing on, and I don't have an answer to what that is at this point. I think we got some good feedback from the last meeting, so we can certainly have a discussion at the TCMP meeting. But it is a Go open house. It's it certainly isn't something that we can't bring to the membership of the TCMP. But I don't know what the topic would be at all at this point. Let me see. Anybody else on MAC? I'm looking to see if there's any other hands up from MAC members. I don't see any, just Jeff Tartagia's hand.
Right, okay. Jeff Tartagia?
Yeah, I was trying to do that for the work plan, but Jeff T came in and nothing happened after that. But this is related to the work plan, the previous item. I'm hoping that you've got Beverly Boulevard. I'm hoping you've got what other further corrections have to be done to light rail stations, and that you have in the work plan related to the I-80 being monitored. Broadway is because there's going to be ample construction and the problems that is going to create with a number of bus stops and bus shelters on Broadway's route. and I don't see that in your plan. You've got a number of things for a public hearing, but I do think you need to have in your work plan other areas of monitoring, i.e., how many, shall we say, disabled electric wheelchairs are getting left behind, as well as don't know that I recall anything of dealing with the bus cancellations and the impact on the disability rider. I just bring that up as far as whether it's in your work plan, because I obviously haven't seen your work plan. That's my comments related to that. And again, as you suggest, the more information, and it would be really helpful if a telephone number would be included on the mailing. So if there is problems, there's a way of making a direct connection. So you don't have the problem you had again today.
Okay, Jeff.
Thank you. I'm not following the last statement.
I suggested that on your notices you put out, is there be a telephone number to contact. So when you
There's
have
always a telephone number. We always have our telephone number on our agenda notices.
Yeah, are you talking about the open house, Jeff?
No, I'm talking about when you put out, shall we say, various emails as well as various notices that when the meeting's occurring, what number is to contact for problems. Just simply that. And Phyllis, if it's your number is the only number we have to contact, I'm glad you're able to answer all the questions.
Okay, Jeff, thank you very much for that. That's quite helpful. Any other comments on?
No, I think that was it. Thank you.
Okay. All right, let's move on to elections of the MAC chair and vice chair. And Priscilla, I will turn this over to you. I do have a couple of suggestions about how we proceed with the election since we are virtual. One thing I suggest is that if it is okay with all of the MAC members, that for each office, we simply hold the election by acclamation. If that is not okay, then Priscilla has suggested we each send her an email with our selection for, and these are separate for first the chair and then secondly the vice chair. Any comment on that proposal, preferably by acclamation?
I'm not seeing any hands. Let me just double check.
All right.
Oh, no, I see a hand.
Tom.
Tom. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we don't know whether we can do acclamation until we take nominations. So that's you can't really answer that.
Right.
Well,
and that's what,
I was just raising that right now for us to think about it. So
yeah.
Okay. Priscilla?
Yeah. And I think it's in my hands to put out there to take nominations for the chair of MAC for 2024, beginning 2024. And can I share then what was provided as far as chair and vice chair recommendation from the nominating committee?
Yes, I think they had one for each office.
The nominating committee had recommend the chair be Jeff Tom, and the vice chair be Charles Johnson.
Okay. Shall we vote on the first on the chair?
Sure. Let's vote first on the chair.
You have to take nominations first, though.
Yeah, that's right. Are there any nominations from the floor? Do you see?
I don't see any hands.
Okay.
Count of three, though. You have to do a count of three, asking if there's any nominations from the floor.
Okay.
Three times?
Yes.
3 times.
Jean is absolutely right. We have to ask. Okay. We've asked once. Second time, any nominations from the floor for chair? Third time, any nominations from the floor for chair?
I move that nominations be closed and that we accept Jeff Tom by acclamation.
Jean, second.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? And abstentions. All right, Jeff Tom, thank you very much. You, beginning in January, will be the MAC chair.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you, everybody. If I can say like 30 seconds worth of thing. One thing above and beyond the work plan for next year that I really want to work on is succession planning. So we have others who are willing and able to move up into the chair and vice chair positions over time. We need continuity for this body. And so I think that's something we really need to work on. So thank you very much. And I appreciate the honor of serving as the chair next year.
Thanks very much for that, Jeff, and I second your notion that we need to work on succession, very much so. All right.
I can take it over for the vice chair,
Please do.
Charles.
Yeah.
And again, for the nominating committee for vice chair is Charles Johnson, and I'm asking if there are any nominations from the floor. Are there any nominations from the floor? Any nominations from the floor?
I move that nominations be closed and we accept Charles through acclamation.
Gene
I second it.
Who seconded? Was it Jean or somebody else that said something
Jean.
at the same time?
Some other
did.
man.
Okay. Margie Jean. All right. Then Charles Johnson would become the vice chair
No, we have
beginning
to vote on
January.
it.
We have to
2024.
vote
Vote
on
on
it.
it.
Priscilla, we have to
Everybody
vote.
vote. Everybody vote on it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
Any opposed?
I can't really do this.
Any opposed? I see no hands. I hear no one.
Abstentions?
Abstentions?
All right.
Abstentions.
You don't call for abstentions. Abstentions is
Yes,
a
you do,
non-vote.
Margie.
Okay,
Abstentions.
You and I'll argue about it later.
I hear no abstentions
You
either.
guys work it out.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're having fun now.
over Christmas holiday.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're now at a point where we can say Charles Johnson, vice chair in beginning January 2024.
Yes.
All right. Congratulations to you both.
Thank you very much. And just a couple of words. I've really enjoyed being chair these last 2 years and look forward to the leadership that Jeff will provide. All right. Other business announcements, council members' request for information. Jean, I think, yeah, Jean.
Yeah. Follow up to Jeff's verbal request earlier, and that is, the verbal announcements and actually staff on the platforms to alert, assist, if necessary, people to ensure that they do not attempt to try to board the light rail, low floor vehicles during the final testing process.
Mm-hmm.
And so hopefully we can get some information on that as soon as possible that can be disseminated throughout the senior and disability community particularly. It would be great to have that as an announcement in the various publications RT has and online. The other thing, the other thing is, since it looks like the train, after the testing and the modifications of the platforms is really moving fast, that it may not be October, but maybe earlier than that light rail, low floor light rail might be operational. And we need to have the two standing committees meet as soon as possible. There's a lot of unaddressed issues beside public education, but also understand the operating procedures that will impact the passengers. Public address system that's supposed to be installed with visual and auditory announcements. And also as Hugh brought to our attention that some individuals in the deaf and hard of hearing community don't necessarily benefit just from visual text, and that's looking into maybe flashing lights like they do with WMATA there in DC and some other systems. We need to look at a lot of those things that can be done, and the program issues, operational things that are not physical. And that really, especially the training and communications committee really has a lot with a short turnaround time, needs to really meet as soon as possible after the first of the year. So I'm really encouraging that. Hopefully we can get some feedback, getting the two standing committees going. And since it's not going to be impacted by elections of chairs, because that will be in 2025. And I guess the other thing I'd like to request, since it was not on our agenda, was the ASAP funding program for legacy light rail stations. And the federal government's cutoff is January 30th of 2024. And I can't imagine, and I'm assuming that RT is not going to pass up this, what could be a one-time funding source for access. And since it's not on our agenda, I'm wondering when we'll have an opportunity to meet with those staff working on it to provide input, because if we were to wait to our meeting the end of January, there's no way that they could be put it into an RFP, and there may be some things that we really want to see looked at, considered, and we definitely want to support the RFP. That is the most important thing. We do not want to see RT lose any potential funding like this. Again, I repeat, change of administration, politics, and so forth, putting aside, this funding may not exist after the elections for president. So that is something I hope, Priscilla, you can tell us, since we couldn't bring it up today, when can we have a meeting to deal with that? And that could be part of an A&I committee meeting in January. So those are the things I'm requesting.
Okay, thank you, Jean. I want to make sure you were able to share what you were thinking before I responded. Are you done?
I'm done. Thank you.
Okay. Let me first start with just to say that obviously we don't have the information about the burn-in testing, the low floor work that's going on our agenda. And I definitely agree. I will set up some meetings working with the chair of the two subcommittees, the Access and Infrastructure and the Training, Communications and Policies group, early in January. But I do want to say that SACRT did start audio announcements at the light rail stations last night, which was December 6th, along with the electronic message boards. Hello? Did somebody say something?
No.
Okay.
I was cheering you on.
Oh, good. With the electronic message boards at stations to let riders know that SACRT is starting the burn-in testing phase with the new low floor light rail trains. The website has also been updated to reflect that audio messages at stations are included in the public messaging. The test trains, they don't arrive until at the stations until 9 p.m. The burn-in testing is between 8 p.m. and 4 a.m., but riders at stations wouldn't start seeing the trains pull into stations until closer to 9 p.m. And that would be certainly resulting in less impacts to riders. There's also a SACRT staff member on board each train in case a rider tries to board the test train. SACRT is working on a plan to host the public community events to show off the features of the new trains in spring of 2024 before we begin revenue service of the new trains in late summer. And so you're right, Jean, we might be starting that a little bit sooner than anticipated, late summer, early fall. These community events will be a perfect opportunity for riders with mobility devices and other persons with disabilities to interact with the new trains. And again, we'll have opportunity working with subcommittees and MAC membership to be involved at that level and extending that involvement from members of the community. SACRT is also working on printed materials and videos to highlight the features and usability of the new trains in early 2024. And then there will be more information on the new trains at stackrt.com/new trains. So that is something that we, again, it's something that will give you at least some information. We will definitely have more information. We can get this on, like I said, the subcommittee agenda, and proceed with getting some more feedback for some more information as it relates to the progress. As far as the ASA, yeah.
Before you go into that, I just want to clarify something. The train announcer, external annunciator, that's not going to provide an announcement saying that this is a final test train and that it's not available to passengers. It's just going to be from a system on the platform, but not actually from the train.
It sounds like the audio messages at the stations will occur. Are you saying not on the train itself?
No, I'm saying that since they're going to be testing, that external annunciator that is on each of your trains right now that announces the train there that's come into the station, that should be tested and activated in this situation. So you have that information that if somebody is standing on that platform and before the doors open, that they hear this announcement saying that this is such and such train, because they may hear the announcement. It may be across the other side of the tracks. And, it's hard to do locating on things that are auditory, and especially if it's coming from above. So I'd say, let's do two things at the same time. Test that verbal annunciator that each car has, the external one, as well as the internal, and to supplement what else is being done. And the other thing you were mentioning, which is great about creating one of the things, a video, with the captioning, but make certain it has audio description for the blind and low vision when it's being produced.
Yes, we've captured that, Jean. I know you've been echoing that, so we certainly are not going to move forward without having that incorporated. As far as what you're sharing, we'll have more information on that technology soon, as you're referring to the announcements, the audio messaging announcements. Like I said, we will be able to provide more information and get more detail starting, when we meet as a subcommittee, which will be in early January. And then I wanted to just touch base on the ASAP opportunity. We have certainly an opportunity here for rail with respect to accessibility improvements. And what I hope to see is that maybe our next meeting now is on January 18th for the MAC. That is before the information is due to the feds. So if we don't have something in the way of a subcommittee meeting before January 18, and I suspect we probably will, then we certainly would still have the time at the January 18 MAC meeting for the ASAP information and feedback from the MAC, because it won't be due until, I think it's the end of the month on the 30th. But I'm not sure of whether or not I can get a subcommittee sooner than the 18th, but we'll do our best. And that's all I had. And I see there's a couple hands up.
Right. I'm going to call on Pam Floor first.
Oh, thank you. I would like to acknowledge and thank Charles Johnson for being an excellent chair these past 2 years. He's done a great service to us. We are sometimes a rowdy crowd, and he's managed. So I really want to acknowledge an excellent job. Thank you, Charles.
Thank you very much, Pam. Very much appreciated. And by the way, Pam, I learned a lot from your experience as chair. So thanks for your guidance and advice. Okay, Margie.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, while you're still chair, let's not forget the minutes we didn't get to today
Uh,
because
We
we
did
didn't have
vote
a
on it.
quorum.
I know we did do
Did
the
approve
minutes.
it.
Yeah, we did them.
Gosh,
did 'em.
am I that out of it?
Yep.
Never mind. Don't answer that, Charles.
We did them.
Oh, gosh,
So,
okay.
all right. Thanks for that, Margie.
Thanks to my brain.
Okay. And Jeff, Tom, I think you had your hand up.
No, I think
No,
it's Jeff Tardigia. Jeff
that was
Tardigia.
Tardigia. Jeff Tardigia. Okay. Jeff Tardigia.
My comment is, thank you guys for the training efforts going on. What operators are now doing is reminding people about closing down the either the walker or the should we say carts. It's been a number of things that really need to be reviewed because it's going to have very big impact with both our low floor vehicle as well as our new buses that are coming in. They are not designed to have more than one or two electric wheelchairs, and they do not allow for walkers and carts because they block the center aisle on either the light rail or on the new buses. This is the 22 series forward buses.
All right, Jeff, thanks a lot. That's a good comment. All right, anything else? I don't see anything. Do you see any other hands up, Priscilla?
Yes, Pam has her hand up.
Oh, okay. Pam.
I move we adjourn the meeting.
second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And abstentions. Okay, and one last reminder, again, our new schedule, the next MAC meeting, as Priscilla said, will be January 18th. And have a great holiday season, everybody. And
Yeah.
Happy
definitely.
holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
yeah,
Merry Christmas.
bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Safe.